Hello everyone and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to make some simple white bread, and these are all the ingredients that I will need. Some plain flour, eggs, yeast, granulated sugar, salt and olive oil. Before I get started, can I please ask you to hit the like button if you think you're going to enjoy this, or even after you've watched it, please hit the like button and subscribe. I'd love to have you along. Thank you so much. And here, let's get into it. I'm going to start off by putting 5 cups of plain flour into my bowl. I'm aiming to make 2 loaves today, so I'm doubling the recipe that I have. So 5 cups of plain flour. Five. 2 teaspoons of instant yeast, so I'm going to put in 4 teaspoons of instant yeast. 1. 2. 3. 4. And the recipe calls for 1 teaspoon of salt, so I am going to put in 2 teaspoons of salt. I ground my Himalayan salt into this cup, so I measure out 2 teaspoons. 1. 2. And we need 4 tablespoons of sugar. Get my tablespoon measurement. So if you want to make only 1 loaf, you can half all of this. 1. 2. 3. 4. And I'll mix these up. When I was showing you my ingredients at the start, I forgot to mention the milk. So I'm using today 2 cups of warm milk. So I have my 2 cups of warm water. I just put the 2 cups into this bowl and I put it in the microwave for about 1.5 minutes. You don't want it to get you don't want the milk to be hot because that could kill off the yeast. So now we're just going to mix.
The world seems small. We can sit
I got this recipe more than a year ago now, I'd say, off Living Traditions website. It's Kevin and Sarah. And Sarah makes this bread in a video of hers. And I'm telling you, it's delicious. So we'll give a good old mix. You could do this in a mixer too, but I like to do it by hand. If you have any frustrations at all, you'll get them out while you're doing this. So next I'm going to add the oil and the eggs. I'm using 4 tablespoons of olive oil. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 eggs. And just remember, if you just want to make 1 loaf, just use half this recipe. You didn't see me drop the whole egg into the mixture there. That would be very unprofessional of me. Now I have an eggshell. Now, do you know the trick? To use the eggshell to get out on the eggshells? Normally it works. Did I get it? Nope, it's still down there. Try again. See it coming? Here we go. Now, I'm going to mix that up before I add it to my bread mixture. mixing.
like a bird on a tree.
And then comes my favourite part, the kneading.
I'm just sitting here. I got
Now, if this turns out to be too wet, you just add in a little bit more flour at a time until it's at a nice kneading texture.
the world seems small. We can sit.
You might need up to a quarter cup of flour or a half cup of flour.
It's so beautiful. You and me,
We're going to start with
we meant to be
a quarter cup.
in the great outdoors. Forever free.
Still yet a little bit too wet, so we'll add in another quarter cup.
Sometimes you need to go.
And hopefully it'll start to come together now for me.
Take a step back to see the truth around you.
Even at this stage, I just love the smell of this bread. So now I'm happy with that, so then I'm going to be able to take it out onto the floured work surface.
Meant to be in the great outdoors. Forever free. You and me. Meant to be in the great outdoors. Forever.
And now the fun part. Have you made bread before? Let me know in the comments. Are you going to try this one? Let me know in the comments. I would highly advise you to. Just look at this. Oh, and the feel of it, the texture. It's just beautiful.
Like a bird on
And don't be afraid to add a little bit more flour as you go.
I'm just sitting here. I got time. It's
Now,
clear to
Sarah
see
says to knead it
from up here.
50 times for 50 turns. So we'll start now counting 1,
We can sit together. It's so beautiful. You and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors. Forever free.
I'll do a couple more just for good luck. Now, it's shaped up nicely here. Just to leave it to rest.
Sometimes you need
So let it rest, cover it and let it rest for about 10 minutes.
to take a step back to see the truth around you.
See you in 10 minutes.
From a distance you can tell.
Now we've had our dough resting for 10 minutes, covered here on the worktop. I'm going to move it over to another little table now and I'll show you how to split it in two and put it into the tins. And then we're going to leave it to rise covered in a warm area of the house for approximately another hour, hour and a half. And then it'll be ready to pop into the oven. Okay?
You and me, meant to be
And here's my lovely dough
outdoors.
after having it rest for about 10 to 15 minutes. I have my loaf tins here. I'm going to grease them with a little bit of olive oil. And I'm just going to use my fingers. this in half. Use approximately half of the dough in each loaf. Shape each into the loaf shape, approximately the same length as your loaf tin. So put this one in first. Beautiful. And then just press it down a little bit to get the proper shape of your tin. Fabulous. Oh, it feels so good. It smells so good. Can't wait to taste it later. Glad I didn't just rush over to the shop to get a loaf of bread when we ran out this morning. This will be delicious for the school lunches tomorrow. And probably supper this evening. There won't be much left by this time tomorrow, I'd say. Now, there we go. Second loaf. Shape it into all the little nooks and crannies of your tin. And there we have it. Now I need to go and find a warm spot in the house. I think I'll go for the porch. It's a dull day here in the west of Ireland today. So I'd say these could take a good 2 hours to rise. I'll show you and I'll tell you the length of time it took in just a moment. And here's my warm spot that I found to leave my loaves. And I'm just going to cover with a clean tea towel and I'll check back on them in an hour and then possibly longer after that. But I'll show you what they look like in an hour. You want to mind my loaves for me? Thank you. And here we are after 1 hour. I'll just show you how much they've risen. You can see the depth. Very, very, very nice. And the smell is a killer. Absolutely fab. I think I'm going to leave them just maybe another half an hour and we'll see how we get on. It's 22 degrees Celsius in here at the moment. Now it's been 2 hours. We'll have a look. Oh wow. Wow, look at that. I'm definitely going to pop these in the oven now. I have the oven preheating at the moment, so we'll bring them into the kitchen now. Now we're ready to pop these into the oven. The oven is heating here to 190 degrees Celsius, which is 375 degrees Fahrenheit.
It's clear to see from up here. The world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful. You and me.
See how I get on. The first 15 minutes we leave the bread uncovered, and then after 15 minutes I'm going to put a layer of tin foil on top to stop it burning. So they should be ready in about a half an hour.
Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell. You and me were meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. You and me meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
And here we have our two fabulous white loaves of bread. They're cooling here. A little later I'm sure we'll cut them open Get some nice Irish creamery butter on them and have a feast.
Like a bird.
So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit the like button. That's the thumbs up there at the bottom.
I'm just sitting.
If you can give that a tap, I would greatly appreciate it.
I got
Please subscribe. Welcome to my kitchen. God bless this food. God bless you. Bye.
From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell